Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start by restoring our stream
The
save game.
catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
Alright. So there are some items that we need to find. As we explore our way through.
Alexander picks up the skull. The remains of several unfortunate souls haunt the room. These bones seem more recent than the ancient catacomb bones that Alexander has seen so far. Perhaps they were victims of the Minotaur, or perhaps they died while wandering lost in the maze. 3 of the skeletons are completely intact.
Alright, so now we got a skull that we'll need for some spell casting later. Save our game before I get killed a whole bunch of times.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Okay. I think it's the roses are safe.
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet. Uh-oh!
Alright, let's see.
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet. Uh-oh!
Yeah, I'm just going to restore that one.
Alexander feels the tile. Uh-oh!
Oh, they gotta be hit in a particular order too, don't they?
Alexander feels the tile. Uh-oh!
In that case, now I can get to here. Thank you, Nixon. I appreciate it. And yeah, no, simply parry the arrows. Very good advice. Very helpful.
Alexander feels the tile he's standing.
Uh-oh!
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh!
And we emerge victorious. Alright, got ourselves our shield.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
The last bit of things we need from this section is some coins for the ferryman later. Be very important. Hard to get across the river Styx without it. Save our game before something catastrophic happens again.
Alexander examines the stone shelf and the ancient bones, but finds nothing except...
Click on the shiny one.
Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins.
Okay, so for those who might have missed out on stream number 1, we're actually down here looking to rescue the daughter of the local noble family. And they've been told by the Vizier to dispose of anybody who shows up who's a foreigner on your island. So, their interpretation of that was, well, you climb the cliffs of logic, so I've got to, it's prophesied you're going to do great things for us there. But since I wasn't told the manner of getting rid of you, we're going to go ahead and put you in these catacombs, because you're either going to succeed, or you're going to get killed by the Minotaur.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside.
Good thing I have this
And
brick.
the ceiling is coming down. In a desperate move, Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between 2 cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung.
Sounds! A trap floor!
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face.
It's a good thing I brought this lantern.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away.
If I wasn't fast enough, I would absolutely have been eaten by a Gru. Very Minotaur-shaped Gru.
As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad...
Wrong place.
Tickets up.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed and the seal...
All right.
In a desperate move, the brick
There
is
you go.
caught
Do all that
between two
again.
cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The seal
Sometimes you
is
just gotta throw a
stuck.
brick at it. Twice.
The trap.
No, if I threw him like that, it was a free throw, so it would have missed.
Sounds! A trap floor.
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the
Well,
catacombs.
King's Quest VI was
Wherever he
released
is, the
very
place
early
sure
90s.
is
I want to say
dark.
somewhere between like
Alexander
91 and
can't even see
93.
his hand in front of his face.
To give you an impression as to what else was released around that time, the Super Nintendo was brand new, so Super Mario World and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past were kind of contemporaries
Alexander takes the candle from
for
his
console
tinderbox
gaming stuff.
and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha!
But
So
the
that's why
Quest
it's
series
dark.
was a big one
The
for
torch is
Sierra,
out.
which usually incorporated a lot of
wipes the
elements of humor in
extinguished
addition to
torch and
better,
puts his tinderbox
like
away.
good quality storytelling and all of those sorts of odds and ends. Some of the other ones in there that in that same sort of series is the Police Quest series, Quest for Glory, the Conquest games, both Conquest of Camelot and Conquest of the Longbow, Space Quest, and of course the King's Quest franchise. This being the sixth game in the series, it's still carrying on the same overall story that started all the way back in the very first one in the mid to late 80s. But they really kind of started to slow down a little bit after. I want to say King's Quest VII uses an art style that's very similar of like Disney for the time. If I went down again, we'd fall through that pit, and that's no fun for anybody. But a lot of them are point-and-click adventures. They're similar to, but use a different engine from the LucasArts ones, which used a modified version of the SCUM engine. I think this one is called SCI or SC1. Thanks for the follow there, Dead Anthony. But for the most part, it's a matter of you find items, you utilize items in key places, and that's how you get the story to advance. And sometimes it's, you know, unusual uses of different items. The other thing that's kind of common, especially for this sort of game and its time frame, when these used to be on multiple 3.5-inch floppies, every item that appears in the game is used somewhere. So if there is an item out there that you can look at, pick up, examine, manipulate in some fashion or format, you're almost entirely certain to use it at some point during the adventure. There's very few items in the games like these that are,
Alexander
dead
hears
weight.
the sound of a wild beast again. This time, so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall.
But there's also a lot of voice actors that have been prevalent throughout the 90s that did some voice acting in here. Alright, so sounds like he's in this wall. We've got a hole in the wall. Let's go ahead and apply our hole in the wall.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees just another room in the catacombs. Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists, somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it. Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder.
Okay. Now we need to go ahead and get to that room. So we can rescue the princess of this particular place. And hopefully get out of here. Our protagonist in this one is Alexander of Daventry, who is the oldest son of King Graham, who was the protagonist for most of the games before. He does have a sister, Rosella, who I believe was the protagonist for King's Quest IV.
Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature.
First time you actually play as Alexander is in King's Quest III, where he's kind of been brainwashed into not remembering who he was, or who he was supposed to be, as he was basically the kept slave of a wizard, Mangar. They're actually fairly decent stories that still hold up this whole time, and I believe on Steam you can purchase the entire collection of pretty much everything except Mask of Eternity, which is the 8th game in the series. It's the only one that was rendered in like true 3D. And they can be played through. And there's our tapestry. Let's go and save our game.
This tapestry looks familiar. Now let's see. I don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch.
Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open.
Okay, well, we know Minotaurs like red. We're gonna grab the bull by the horns and send him straight to the Tauren Concordat.
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged One's girl. She must be Lady Celeste. Alexander steps forward, determined to use anything at hand to save the girl. But before he can do anything...
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Who dares enter my lair?
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Very determined you are, Alexander.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man? Arr!
Alexander, his back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with the Red Queen's scarf.
Look here, you bully. Nice, bright red.
Red. Now you die.
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well.
Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste? Are you all right?
No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity.
God, what a brat.
Of course not. Sorry. Let's see. If you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time.
I can't wait that long. Look, I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope.
Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go.
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock.
Got the little sparkle there. That's our genie friend.
Lady Celeste, bide thee well.
I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellects.
Yes, my lady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. Well, I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life, so I thank you. I am obliged to thank you for the restoration of our sacred catacombs. It means much to our people. We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle, so this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the Crown. But there, my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazred, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guards will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the City of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further.
I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes.
Hail to thee, great oracle. Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that he solved the cliffs of logic and...
defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, great oracle.
Ah, of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She's a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her.
How? How do I redeem her?
Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice.
Well, she's got at least an 8K pool
I
there.
will tell you what I can, but what will actually
It's even a
come
flat
to
screen.
pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit.
Who must I fight?
A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak.
Alexander,
But
you're
before this
dumb as
final
bricks,
struggle,
bro. That's the
I see an
Vizier. Come on, put two and two together.
dangerous game of hide and seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much.
What else do you see, mighty Oracle?
Oh, such pain. I see two restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny. I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the druids. Be warned. The druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the druid's nature is hidden in the mists. There is nothing more I can do for you, except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you.
Thank you, great Oracle.
Okay, so now we have Sacred Water, and that was one of our spell components that we needed. Thanks, boys. Stay late and dollar short. Alright, so let's take our vial of Sacred Water.
The small vial contains the Oracle's sacred water.
And we're going to put that.
Alexander pours the contents of the Oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears. The vial, now empty of its sacred fluid, disintegrates.
Okay. Let's take out our magic map.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
And we have a new island, the Isle of the Mists.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
All right.
From the east, Alexander reaches into the fire pit and takes a lump of coal.
Okay, and scythe. I'll take that scythe with us too.
Alexander takes the scythe.
And before the druids come back... Oops. That's,
Alexander is
suboptimal.
Uh-oh.
Wait!
There. Alex.
I get it, I'm dead.
Alex.
We're gonna need to reload. The moral of the story is I need to exit a different part of the screen.
Alexander from the east.
Which if I would have not accidentally clicked through that the first time, it would have told me from the east we could hear the drumming.
From the northeast, Alexander pulled.
Alright. Let's get the hell out of here and pay a visit to the Isle of Wonder.
Alexander feels a strange
As we need to go
pulling
see the
sensation.
Queen.
Alexander picks up the bottle. The little bottle contains some sort of potion and bears a label saying, "Drink me." That's rather forward of it.
Here come the queens.
Your Highness may as well spend her royal time contemplating something else. The lump of coal shall be sent to the Castle of the Crown under my name, and that's all there is to it.
No, it shan't.
Yes, it shall.
If the coal is sent in your name, I shall royally decree a ban on all red on this isle.
You do, and I shall royally decree that white shall be henceforth used for all mopping up of cabbage stew.
You wouldn't dare!
Oh, wouldn't I?
Oh, it's you! Have you thought of any more of those brilliant ideas of yours?
I found the two of you another lump of coal so that you can stop fighting over the one you have.
Oh, let me see! A lump of coal! And what a beauty it is, too! Oh, marvelous! Now we can stop fighting, sister. Your Highness can just keep the old lump of coal, and I'll take this new one.
Quite right. That settles everything.
As a token of our endless esteem and royal favor, please accept this magnificent and truly incredible spoiled egg.
Thanks.
Let me see that lump of coal, Your Highness.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Why, it's bigger than my lump of coal. Let me have it immediately.
Over my dead body, Your Highness. It's my lump of coal, and it is indeed larger and much grander. Just look at that sheen.
I demand you exchange with me immediately.
All right, excellent. We now have an egg, which, if we take a look at our fancy spell book, we need a bit of sulfur. It's going to come from the egg. We also need a skull full of hot oak embers, which we don't yet have. And we do have a strand of pure-hearted maiden's hair, so we're getting there. That's also why we needed the skull. However, this spell, the Make Rain, is what we're going to need to cast here very soon before we go back to that island. Earlier in the last stream, we picked up the salt water not from the sea with the baby's tears. And we have the vial of sacred water, which is already added in there. So now we need falling water. And for that, we're going to need to travel back to the Isle of the Beasts.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Now, there is something funny, or perhaps fitting, about the next scene that we're going to see here. But first, we need to get past this stone archer.
Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges. Alexander walks forward to step onto the gazebo. But the rose hedges on either side of the path, sensing an intruder's presence, reach out their vines and blend together. The path is blocked. Alexander wields the scythe, determined to get past the magical rose hedges. The leaves fly as Alexander tries to cut the branches faster than they can grow back together. He sees light. He's through.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander. I didn't mean to disturb your private garden.
No. And yet, monsieur, you could hardly have accidentally broken through the 3 enchanted traps of the Isle of the Beast.
I suppose it is simply my nature to break through enchanted traps.
You must be a prince, then. I know the nature of princes all too well. This face you see before you is hideous, is it not?
Well, for the face of a beast, it is really quite noble.
Ha! I'm glad you like it, for you will soon own one just like it. I too was once a pretty prince, caring for nothing but adventuring and rescuing fair maidens. But I rankled one too many evil hags. One dark night, I was turned into this obscenity you see before you, warped in shape and trapped on this enchanted island over 100 years ago.
Surely there is a way off this island.
Oh, surely. You broke in, did you not? And yet think, where would I go clad so eloquently as I am with this silk and this pelt? You see, my prison is also my sanctuary. You are the first to break through the barriers in lo these many years. That is, except for the druids who stole my heirloom coat of arms.
If there's any way I can help.
Help? You? I'm afraid you don't understand. The enchanted barriers were a warning and protection for you more than for me. Your prize for forcing your way past them is to join me in this dire life. By the laws of this sorcery, you are doomed to be trapped in the form of a beast. Your reward for broaching this garden is to be my slave. A slave as beastly as I am. You have only a few hours of humanity left.
But that's not possible. There must be some way to break the enchantment. Spells always have a weakness somewhere.
The enchantment you are under is tied to my own. Oh, the sorceress left me a way out. But I'm afraid it was only her final bitter joke. You see, I need only find a maiden to join me here, to share my castle, my life, willingly. Take another look at me. You can't help but admire the hag's terrible cruelty and cunning.
I shall try to find such a maid, for Casima's sake.
Truly? How determined of you. I personally would not waste my last few hours as a man on an impossible errand. However, you may do as you please. I give you this token. It's my family ring, and the only heirloom I have left. If perchance you should... if you think you have found a maid...
I shall give her this ring.
Yes, she must accept it of her own free will. By doing so, she accepts me. Not that you shall find anyone, mind you. Your time is short. Count the minutes on your fingers while your fingers you have, pretty prince. Your master will await you.
Okay. So the funny thing here with all of that is the voice actor for Alexander was also the voice actor for the Beast in Disney's Beauty and the Beast. So there's kind of a self-same sort of deal there, which is a little amusing. But the clock is ticking, so we need to go and find ourselves a maid who can be okay with all of this, and I believe we know where one
Alexander pulls
is.
out his magic map.
We saw her in the last stream. We're on the Isle of the Crown.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Jalo, my friend, is the wedding still moving forward at the castle?
Prince Alex, egads, yes, that confounded wedding has a whole castle a-bustle. Look, I didn't come here to talk about that, though. I came to warn you.
Warn me? About what? Isn't the wedding bad enough?
No, listen. The Wazir knows that you're here, Alexander. He's posted extra guards, and he's telling them about a foreign saboteur. Who else could he mean but you? The Wazir's genie must have learned of your presence in the land, Prince Alex. I don't know how, but he must have.
I haven't exactly been discreet, I'm afraid.
Alexander, this is serious. Alhazred will never let you get close to Casima now. He doubled the castle guard, probably to make sure you keep out. Gadzooks! Oh, it's too bad there isn't some way to convince Alhazred that you've left the islands or even died. If he thought you were out of the way, you might be able to get close enough to...
What an interesting thought. Tell me more about this genie.
The genie's name is Shamir Shamazel. Alhazred brought Shamir with him when he came to this kingdom. Shamir probably won't directly threaten you, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He can be a terrible trickster and an ingenious spy. It's too bad we can't get our hands on Shamir's lamp. If we had that lamp, Alhazred and all of our problems would be solved. Wouldn't that be a fine thing?
You would wish to be master of such a wicked creature?
Oh, Shamir isn't necessarily evil. Genies never are, you know. They only reflect their owner's heart, for good or ill. Alhazred is hardly a shining example for an impressionable genie.
So how do you propose we go about getting Shamir's lamp?
What? Oh, Prince Alex, I was only dreaming. I mean, the lamp is heavily guarded. It would be easier to steal Alhazred's own trousers while he's wearing them than it would be to get that lamp.
But surely a clown's hands are quick and agile.
Well, yes, they are, as a matter of fact. But then the theft would be detected almost immediately. And then... my poor neck.
If
Luella
the
Deck.
theft were detected.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, there might be a slim chance, but only that. If you could find a replica of the genie's lamp, an exact replica, I might be able to make the swap. I alone might get close enough. But I couldn't tell you what to look for. I caught a glimpse of it only once. I would know it if I saw it again, but to say I cannot.
Well, I'll just have to see what I can do.
Good luck to you then, Prince Alex. I really must be going back to the castle. I don't think I'll be able to come back here. If we were spied on, well, it's too high a risk. I hope you understand. If I see Cassima, I'll tell her I saw you. If you do ever make it to the castle, look me up. And do be careful, friend.
I will. Goodbye, Jalo. Thanks for all your help.
Here he goes. Clock's still ticking, though. Alright, she's close enough we can talk to. See if she likes this flower.
Pardon me, maid. I hope you don't think me forward, but I see that you like roses. I thought you might, perhaps, like a fresh white rose.
Alexander can see the conflict in the girl's pretty face as she fights between her distrust of him and her desire for the white rose. The rose wins.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white. It looks so pale and delicate. Wherever did you find one of such a color?
There are many hedges of them on the Isle of the Beast, and they grow together like magic.
Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though, kind sir.
Beast's ring is made of pure... Alexander has a thought about the serving girl. He decides to bring up the subject of Beast with her.
Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magic blockades, set to keep all visitors away. At the center lives a tremendous beast.
Really? Magic blockades? How exciting! What kind of a beast? Is it very terrifying and ferocious?
It is a beast that walks on 2 legs and dresses like a prince. It speaks with the voice of a man.
A beast that talks and wears clothes? How is that possible? Is the beast magic too?
Not magical. Enchanted. Beast was once a prince, but a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
How terrible! Imagine how lonely he must be.
It is a very lonely prospect, isn't it? Oh, I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists? Oh, how it breaks my heart. If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it's so. I very much think it's so. You would not be afraid of him?
Afraid? Maybe at first. But how silly of me to speak so. The roses in this little yard are the only magic I will ever see.
I could take you there. In fact, I would owe you my life if you would go. If you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? Oh,
You just gotta hop
I
over
have
the wall,
always
lady.
dreamt of leaving. But to actually go... This is the only home I have ever known.
Home is a hard place to leave, even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
There is nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He will be pleased if you would wear it.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Thank you kindly, sir.
Beauty! Where do you think you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
I see you wear my ring. You willingly agreed to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone
Not wrong,
not
Iheart.
sentence you to endure this face.
Oh, but it is a gentle face, and kind.
You look at me so sweetly and are not repulsed. Oh, by the light of your eyes, my spirit soars.
You see the genie is keeping tabs on us there.
The enchantment! It is broken!
I am pleased to have
A
served
little more
you,
Lumiere
Lord.
than Beast, really.
Do you still wish me to stay?
What?
You have a bad time in the
Speak not
1790s.
such nonsense, Beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of true love during my time here? You are my queen.
Oh, my clothes! This gown!
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude. But please, take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty. And by your friendship, I hope.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your true love, protect her with your life. Fear all beasts without the redeeming humanity of love. And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer hung in false shadows, I have no need for it. Give it to someone with nothing to fear from the truth it reveals.
Well, hang on to that
Thank you.
mirror.
I wish you both well.
Come, Beauty. Let me take you home.
Alright, so now we have our falling water from the fountain.
Alexander fills the hunter's lamp to the brim with the fountain water.
So now we can cast our first spell.
Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain spell incantation.
Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 have I for tea, brew a tempest now for me.
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
Okay, so now we have our little lamp. And if we recall from the text of the spell, what we need to do next is heat it up. Well, we kind of got a preview of that from our fat fingering the directions there in the Isle of the Mist. So that's where we're going to travel next.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
He'll feel a strange pulling sensation.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Great gods, did you see that? The man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirit.
The river was boiling before. We had thawed or frosted it over a little bit with some iceberg lettuce in last stream.
Not again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem. I think not.
And it was still a little warm. Which was why he kind of skipped across the river.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place. But as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival.
Oh, it's Tony J.
Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage. And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage. Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long. The heat and movement must have jarred something. Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
That man is a powerful nature wizard. By the sacred oak, let him down! I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the Winged Ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides, Wizir Al-Hazred sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you, I mean to harm no one, unless that person threatens the princess. I'm sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time.
What is it that you seek?
The Oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the Realm of the Dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free.
Free souls in the Realm of the Dead? You're mad!
The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess. It's imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important.
No. And yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare. Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow the knight captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead. But neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the night.
I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead?
Ah, that is a blacker matter still. To the Druids, he is Samhain, Lord of Coldness and Despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know.
Well, we'll have to go visit Hades then.
I shall remember.
Now look how the oak
ain't no
embers
thing.
of
We'll
our
just tie it in with
bonfire
Gleamstream on
still glow
Tuesdays.
hot despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one.
May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid.
Okay, we'll come back for, Actually, can I get an ember now? Let's save.
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull. Alexander is carrying a human skull. The embers are...
Let's go ahead and save twice there on that one. Just in case. So we got some things to do before we cast our next spell.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. There's no reason to use that. Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to Cosima.
Go forth, Sing Sing.
The nightingale takes the rose and heads for the castle once more.
A white rose. How beautiful. It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. He only risks capture by sending me these things, dear to my heart though they are. Fly elsewhere, my pretty friend. Do not endanger Prince Alexander again by taking tokens from his hand. Forgive me, Alexander, and forget me. I cannot return your love, for fear that I shall never leave this castle again.
Alexander waits in vain for Cosima's nightingale to return, but the bird does not. Could there be something wrong? Or does Cosima simply not welcome his attentions further?
Alright, we need to send a message there. And we also need to get rid of our nightingale.
Day, Prince Alexander.
Oh hey, the genie's here. You know what? Let's try this drink me bottle.
Alexander suddenly gets a very sneaky idea.
I can't go on anymore. Without Cosima, I'd just rather not live.
Prince Alex, no!
It's true. The Wazir has beaten me. I give up. Poison is my last resort.
Stop!
I am no more.
Oh, what a waste. The poor young fool.
He's dead. He's dead. Wait until Abdul hears. He'll be so pleased. I told you not to pop in like that. You can learn to knock like everybody
blue bottle.
else.
To remember that, because that, I think, is
Sorry,
his.
Master. I couldn't help myself. I have great news. Well, what is it? Prince Alexander is dead. He killed himself in despair over losing Cosima. What? Are you positive? That young man has proven to be most devious. I saw the whole thing myself, Master. He was really and truly quite dead. If what you say is true, it shall be most convenient. You've spent enough time on that little irritant. We must start thinking about the wedding. Anything, Master? Oh, I do love weddings. Well, we do want you to look your prettiest, don't we? Now, Shamir Shamazel, to the lamp with you. Prepare yourself, as we discussed.
Alexander's heart lurches to life in his chest.
Prince Alex! But you were...
Sorry, friend. I was doing a little acting, I'm afraid.
Ah, of course, the strange cloaked man. You are quite clever, and a bit too exciting for an old man.
Okay. No longer need this, so let's go ahead and exchange it.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
To which the game will immediately crash. Just gonna go ahead and relaunch that and get to that same point. We're gonna be skipping some more dialogue there as we get back to it. Pitfall of some of the older DOS-based games is occasionally they just are not as compatible with the newer stuff. I'm not going to worry about grabbing the Ember just yet. And we'll instead take the fast train back.
Alexander.
Yep, magic map, Isle of the Crown. Off we go. Gonna give Cassima a flower, because girls like flowers. Some do anyway. Make sure that whichever one you're giving out there is actually, wants those kinds of things.
The Nightingale.
Okay, for
Alexander. Good.
Okay.
Alexander's.
Now,
Alexander's heart lurches to
Yeah,
life
just
in
like
his
that, we're
chest.
back where we were.
Princess.
Sorry.
Too much excitement. Alright, let's trade this in.
I'm really not interested in...
As you
No, actually we were interested. Hang on.
of course.
Alexander.
I
Paintbrush.
think I'd like the...
Very good, Prince Alex.
Thank you.
We're gonna need that for more spellcasting. And while we're here, we're gonna go ahead and
Old lamps for new!
work with Rollo's plan here.
Excuse me, peddler, but I have an old lamp that might interest you.
Ah, an old lamp. And what a nice traditional design, too. Take your pick of my new lamps.
This blue one right here looks familiar.
Ah, a fine choice, my son. Here is your new lamp. Good day, and I thank you, sir.
Good day.
Drat, another dud.
And there's our replica lamp. Okay. So now we're going to go back and get our ember. And you remember the noxious bush that we found there the first time we went to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. And we heard from the druid that Nightmare likes hanging out by those kinds of things. So conveniently, now that we've checked all the little boxes there for that, by the time we get there, Nightmare should be present and we can cast our spell
Alexander
and go
pulls
visit the
out
realm
his
of the dead.
magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
Okay. The hair in there.
Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull.
And then our egg.
Alexander is careful in handling the spoiled egg. Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers and the strand of hair. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur.
Okay. Now we're going to go back to the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. You know, the local nobility there doesn't want to see our faces there again. Hopefully we won't be there too long.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Alright, there's Nightmare.
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
Okay, so we need to get our spellbook out. Don't need magic paint, but we do need to charm a creature of the night.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it. Come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the human so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan.
We were murdered in our beds by our trusted Wazir. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not
It's the events of King's Quest V.
Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cassima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Wazir. Cassima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
Alright. Let's try and avoid getting stabbed by people.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
So many zombies just milling about. Oh man, we got here without dying. We got here without being dead.
The spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Dead. Next.
Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now, what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance.
And now for a musical number. Oh, they got a chorus line too. Look at that.
Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier. Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
Okay, is this the ticket?
The ghostly ticket reads, Admit 1.
I have a ticket.
Go on. Next.
Yeah, there's that knight they were talking about. He apparently didn't make it very far.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path. Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, Death. Flesh may go where death is trod, and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious.
Okay. Onwards. Alright, so this is the River Styx, and we needed that for a spell too, so let's grab our teacup.
Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze, being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin.
Because that would suck. As most mythology...
The dead is a very the realm.
Alright, so we need to actually pay Sharon for the privilege there.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat.
Mystical boat adventure time. Alright.
Alexander reaches out to open the gate. Suddenly, the wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
What touch has awakened my sleep? I smell the blood of a mortal. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it. It has been centuries since I last ate.
Fantastic, Mr. Door.
Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, Gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you pass, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, Gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps, a test. Yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gates' wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does. My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
L-O-V-N-E.
My first is foremost legally. My second,
Foremost
circles
legally, first word
outwardly.
is L,
My
or first
third
letter is L.
leads all in
Circles
victory.
outwardly is an O.
My fourth, twice
B leads all in
ends a
victory.
nominee.
Nominee ends in a double E.
Is this gate's only key.
L-O-V-E.
The answer is love.
Which is also the same answer that we had on the little scrap of parchment we found in the spider web in the very first stream
Guess love.
from last
That
week.
riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
Okay. Let's save here real quick.
Excuse me, I'd like an audience, please.
The shrouded guards escort Alexander to the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living. But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, death, by throwing down this gauntlet. Man may pass the portal and seek its master, death. Man may pass where death has trod, and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath.
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible! He challenges death. Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Caliphim and Queen Ilaria, the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes, I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
Well, we're gonna make him cry by showing him the truth.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted a stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed and bring them to me. King Caliphim and Queen Alaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, begone.
Yes, my lord.
All right. Now we're getting on with the last segment here of the game. Welcome back from the ad break, folks.
Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alaria and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Cassima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
Okay. And start working towards the end game. It's time to revisit the castle. But we're not going in through the front door, and we're sure as hell not talking to the guards. So, it's going to come up with that third spell that we had in our spell book.
Alexander dips the large black feather into the teacup and stirs the contents gently. To his amazement, the jet-black color of the feather slowly drains from end to tip into the teacup. The teacup mixture blackens and thickens to a paint-like consistency. Alexander carefully puts it away, discarding the drained feather. Feeling artistically inspired, Alexander decides to make use of the large blank castle wall. Ah, a doorway. Just what Alexander was thinking this wall needed.
Magic paint.
With trepidation, Alexander gathers his strength for the enchantment of the painted door. Magic paint, black as ink. Bring to life what I think. Make it real what I draw, according... The spell worked. The door has magically solidified. Eager to be inside the castle at last, Alexander opens the enchanted door and steps inside. The magic paint door fades back into the wall. So much for an easy exit.
Okay.
There's a door on the east. Alexander decides to find out what's on the other side of that door.
Hey, it's our buddy Jolo.
Prince Alexander, I can't believe it. How did you get into the castle?
Well, actually, it's a little hard to explain.
I bet. You run a terrible risk of being here, though. The castle is crawling with guard dogs, especially today. The Wazir will have your hide if he finds you.
I know that, Jalo. But Cassima is being married today. What greater risk is there than that?
Of course you're right. Young love. I forgot what heartburn it is. But what are you supposed to do about it?
I've got to try to see her. Maybe even stop the wedding.
Is that all? And here I thought you would try something dangerous.
Don't worry about me, friend. Just tell me, where is Cassima?
As far as I know, she's still in her bedroom upstairs. You'd never make it up there, though. The guard dogs are everywhere. and they're
Never make it up
very
there.
loyal to the crown.
Sir, I smell like PC. We're going up
Right
there.
now the crown means Alhazred. If we had proof of something truly afoul, the guard dogs might listen. As it is, they're your enemies, not his.
I understand. I've had no lack of enemies since I got here. In fact, you'd almost think I wasn't welcome.
And they say princes have no sense of humor. Well, I can see there's no putting you off. For Casima's sake, I wish you luck. I'll be here if there's anything you need.
Thanks, Jalo. I've been thinking of what you said about swapping a replica for the genie's lamp. I got this lamp from the old lamp seller in town. Do you think it will pass?
Why, yes! It's an exact replica. That's amazing. How did you guess?
I suppose it was intuition.
Intuition and a little bit
I'll
of
have to
watching a
wait for the right
cutscene through the
moment, mind you.
fourth wall.
But I should be able to get close enough to swap this for the real thing, and none shall be the wiser. Now you shall see Jalo's skill.
I'm sure your hands are mightier than my sword, my clever friend.
Go ahead and do as you've planned, and let me worry about swapping the lamp. If I accomplish the trickery, I'll manage to get the lamp to you somehow. You never fear.
I have faith, Jalo. You are a true friend.
Oh, did we have a bot show up?
Shucks. I'd do anything for the princess.
Must have missed it. Good kill. Alright, so we've talked to Jalo. Jalo's on his task. We're going to get the genie's lamp swapped. Let's go back to these jail cells here.
Alexander opens the dungeon door and slips inside.
Mother? Mother, where are you?
I think that's the Spectre we need to send on his way.
What's the matter, little boy?
I'm lost. I can't find my mother. I don't know why she would just leave me here. I've been alone ever so long.
You must be the son of the spirit I met in the realm of the dead. She gave me this handkerchief and asked me to tell you that she's waiting for you there.
It's Mama's. It even smells like her. I can feel her now. I know where to go.
Wait. Before you go, is there anything you can tell me about the castle?
I like to play in secret places. In the basement behind the Man of Steel is a door. Nobody except me knows it's there anymore. Farewell.
Okay, well, we got a secret door that we know about now. Let's go to it.
Remembering what the little boy ghost said, Alexander experiments with the suit of armor. He pushes down, then pulls up on the knight's right arm. A secret passage. Alexander hears the sound of voices coming from nearby.
Okay, well, let's take a peek, shall we? And save our game.
Alexander peers through the chink in the wall.
Captain, I've been hearing rumors from the guards who've been watching the princess. They say lately she's been pounding on her door and begging to be let out. Ain't none of my business, sir, but news like that is upsetting the other dogs. Ain't no guard in the castle who would willingly keep the princess anywhere she don't want to be.
Alhazred claims that a foreign intruder is here to assassinate her. That's why she's got to be kept under lock and key, right up until the wedding.
Call me an old dog that can't learn new tricks, but I say the princess should be the one given the orders.
Alhazred has been in charge for months, what with the king's death and Casima's mourning. Tonight, the wedding will seal it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like him or not, he's our liege. Need I remind you of your oath to the crown?
Aye, we've an oath. For the sake of the princess, we'll not be forgetting it. He'd just better treat her well.
Speaking of the Wazir, what do you reckon he's keeping in that magical room of his?
It's not a magic room. It's just the door he's enchanted somehow. I say he's still got the royal treasury in there, along with whatever else he's so eager to protect. Not even the court treasurer is allowed in there anymore.
I heard him in the hall the other day. He was speaking of that door. Black magic is what I say. I heard him say, Ali, but then Bey came up and started yapping at me.
Enough! It is not our place to question the practices of our liege, no matter how strange. The wedding will be starting soon. Report to the throne room when you hear the music start.
Need to remember that.
Phew. Alexander peers through the chinks in the wall, trying to locate the source of the crying sounds. Alexander's palms begin to sweat and his heart to race. It's Casima. He's phoned her.
Psst! Princess Casima.
What? Who's there?
It is I, Alexander. I'm here behind this wall.
My, how suave that sounds.
Alexander? It really is you. Oh, I knew you were close by, but how did you get inside the castle walls?
It's a long story and not important now. You did get my ring.
Oh, yes. It has brought me such comfort, Alexander, to know you were close by and had not forgotten. But you shouldn't be here. You're only endangering yourself.
I don't care about the danger. I would brave anything to learn.
What is it?
Alhazred, do you want to wed him, Casima?
Oh, please believe me when I say that I never agreed to marry that man. Even when my father trusted Abdul absolutely. I never liked him. But with mother and father gone, I'm afraid there's no stopping him.
If you do not wish to marry him, Casima, you shall not. I promise you. Only come with me now, and we shall escape.
How? I cannot fit through this wall. Besides, do you think I could leave my kingdom, my people, in Abdul's hands? But Abdul would tear the castle apart if I were to disappear from my room. You shall have to do what you can to delay his plans from your end.
I can't just leave you here.
Alexander, do not despair for me. I have been safe in this room for nearly 6 months now. Abdul can be in no hurry, whatever he plans. After all, I'm to be his bride, am I not? I have been planning too, you see.
I believe I can escape. If I can only get a chance to lay my hands on a weapon, there might be an opportunity in the hustle of the wedding.
But I...
Shh, just a moment more, then you must go. Let us not waste time with words. Please, let me just look at you, dear Alexander.
Here, take this dagger. It's not much, but it might come in handy.
Why, it's perfect. This is just the sort of thing I've been looking for. Thank you, Alexander. I'll keep it close and use it if I must.
Alexander looks with longing at the fair Cosima. She's even more beautiful than he remembered.
Oh no! Someone's coming!
The lock on Cosima's door rattles abruptly.
Alexander, hurry!
Alexander...
Okay.
Alexander hears the sound of scratching coming from the other side of the wall. Alexander looks through the chink in the wall.
Dear Shadrach, salutations from the Society of the Black Cloak, etc., etc. My long preparations are about to come to fruition. In a matter of minutes, I will wed the lovely Cosima. Once I've established my power and my crown, I can stage another accident. The princess has proven infuriatingly stubborn, as you know. She's becoming quite a dangerous little thorn in my side. In a way, it is a shame I have to kill her. She is lovely and would be amusing to keep around, but I can't risk her talking treason to one of the guards. So far, I've managed to keep her locked away, but I can't continue that forever. Well, on to it now. I'd
Hello,
send
Frost,
her to
welcome.
you, but as you know, I had no luck in doing so with Mordak. I close in triumph. King Abdul Alhazred. I think it's about time to see if Shamir has taken care of the wench as I asked. It's almost time for the wedding.
The Wazir's words fill Alexander with blazing anger and fear for Cosima's life.
That blackguard! That murderous swine! He'll not have his way if I have anything to say about it.
Okay.
Alexander sees nothing of him. Alexander sees
Exceptional wet alert.
lots of black cloaks.
Nope, glad we saved the game, because we're going to have to relaunch that one again, but no problem. Well, we saved right beforehand. That's one of the reasons I've been a little neurotic about saving it, is these little random crashes. Okay.
There's a box of ebony on the table.
To open that one up, so...
That would serve no Alexander opens the ebony box and looks inside. Alexander can read the piece of paper without taking it. Inside the ebony box is a piece of paper with the word Zebu printed on it. The box...
Okay.
Alexander inserts the skeleton key in the trunk's lock and turns it. He hears a click. Alexander opens the trunk. Alexander picks up the most recent letter and examines it. The letter is addressed to Abdul al-Hazred from the wizard Shadrach. It reads, "Greetings to a brother of the Black Cloak. I was sorry to hear of great Mordak's death, though he was a bit of a ninny at chess. It seems the plans for that little kingdom of yours are coming along. I must congratulate you on your handling of the king and queen. Isolating the island so that no protest could develop was another brilliant stroke. It looks like there's not much left to stand in your way. Do as I recommended with the girl, and you shall have your crown."
That fiend!
Alright, let's go and save again. We need to get that letter to Saladin.
Through the wardrobe to reach the secret passage. Alex...
Okay.
Since the door on the west wall has no visible knob or handle, Alexander decides to try to open it with his voice. He composes his words carefully.
Listen, door. I would have you open. Ali Zebu.
It worked.
Could be behind the drapery.
Alexander pulls the drapery aside, curious as to what might lie underneath. On the table is a coat of arms with the head of a beast on the crest.
Beast said that his coat of arms was stolen by the Druids. This must be it.
On the table are 4 unusual items. On the table...
That fleece must belong to the Winged Ones, and they thought the Isle of Wonder had taken it.
On the table is a strange-looking stone that's giving off an odd, high-pitched noise.
That must be the Isle of Wonder's singing stone. Didn't the queens think that the beast had stolen it?
On the table is a miniature oak tree. It looks very old.
That must be the sacred miniature oak that the Druids thought the Winged Ones stole.
As Alexander looks at the objects on the table, he
It is not
realizes the
Ihort.
depth of the Wazir's cunning. It must have been the Wazir or an accomplice who stole that one thing most precious to each island, and then leaked rumors that one of the other islands was responsible.
What did the Wazir have to gain by causing the islands to hate one another?
Time and chaos, my friend Alexander. Time and chaos.
Alexander hears the sound of music coming from the east. It sounds somewhat classical, but... oh no, it's wedding music.
We can't go there.
Alexander hears a door. Uh-oh, a guard dog.
Hey, you!
I think that's, not quite what we wanted.
Alex.
We'll take the southern route.
Oh no. Alexander hears a door off the north hall open. Then, the sound of guard dog footsteps. Alexander hears the sound. Alexander hears the guard enter the west hall. Alexander looks cautiously around the grand hall, but there are no guard dogs to be seen. The wedding music is coming from behind those two large doors.
Prince Alexander, here, the Wazir will have my head for allowing you within a mile of the royal wedding. Since you are of noble birth, I will give you 5 seconds to explain your presence here before killing you. I warn you, it had better be good.
Okay.
Alexander is carrying a letter taken from the Wazir's trunk.
That's the one we want, I believe.
Wait. If you love your princess, you'll hear me out. The Wazir is not what he appears to be. Cassima is in terrible danger. I have proof that this is so. For your princess's sake, you must believe me.
Let me see that.
Saladin reads the letter, his sword point still against Alexander's throat. Alexander watches the guard dog's noble face darken with rage.
This is treason. I'll have his throat. But how do I know this letter is not a forgery? You could have written this yourself.
But I did not. Have you no doubts of your own about Alhazred? Don't you see? All he wants is the crown. Cassima is being coerced. We must stop the wedding.
It is true. I have had my suspicions about the Wazir, especially when King Califim and Queen Alaria died. But I have seen Cassima with him several times. She appears to be quite happy, even enthusiastic. I don't believe she could love him if he truly were so wicked.
I cannot believe for a moment that she loves that snake.
A jilted lover would not believe it. But come, see for yourself.
The captain of the guard leads Alexander into the throne room, where a ceremony seems to be in progress. Alexander feels his blood run cold at the sight.
But, Cassima, what are you saying?
Do you still claim that the princess is being forced? Perhaps it's you that's the danger, as the Wazir has said.
Cassima, stop!
Prince Alexander here? This is an outrage! How dare you allow this traitor to get past you, Saladin? You stupid mutt! Can't you even keep the castle free of assassins during your own princess's wedding? Kill him! Kill him now!
Lord Alhazred, with all due respect, you are not quite king yet. And this is a wedding ceremony, not an execution.
What? How dare you contradict me, you flea-bitten mongrel!
I gave a direct order. Obey me, or feel my wrath.
Milady, I apologize for my behavior, but I am yours to command in all things. I wanted merely to hear your own wishes from your own lips. Tell me what it is that you wish me to do with this young man, and I will obey.
Why, Captain, you heard my dear Abdul. If he wishes this atrocious young man's death, then I want nothing more than to see him get his wish.
He's
Obey
got
thy liege
the
now
golden
and
eyes, because that's the genie.
As you wish, Princess.
Just as Saladin prepares to run Alexander through with his sword, a shout is heard from the direction of the Grand Hall.
Hold! In the name of the true king!
King Caliphim and Queen Ilaria burst into the throne room, looking alive and well and full of wrath. Behind them, a line of supporters look prepared to battle, if necessary, for their beloved royal couple.
Cosima, darling, are you all right? Has he hurt you?
Hands off of her, you murderous goat!
If I want your advice, I'll ask for it, Mother.
But, Caliphim, that's not Cosima. I'd know my daughter anywhere.
What have you done with our daughter, you devil?
The lovely image of Cosima suddenly bursts into smoke and is replaced by the Wazir's genie.
Why, you conniving serpent! Get him, guards! Saladin, your sword!
Drat it all! You may have ruined my plans, but you won't get me, or your precious Cosima. Get them, Shamir! I command you!
He's getting away! Stop him!
Yes, sire, as soon as I deal with this genie.
Alright, it's on us.
Shamir, the Wazir's genie, begins to throw...
Up we go. With not a whole lot of expediency there. I mean, if you're gonna go upstairs to chase this guy, you may as well not run very fast, right?
Alexander, be careful. Alhazred has a sword.
Shut up, wench! Shamir Shamazel! Get in here! Here I am, master! It's about time, you bumbling fool! How could you let him follow me? Well, there were the guard dogs, master, and then... Never mind! Just kill him! Kill him now! As you wish, master. Razzle, dazzle, snap and snazzle.
Alexander, I did it. I swapped the lamps. Here, quick, take it.
Bless you, Charlo. I knew you could do it. Now get clear, friend.
No argument there, my lord. Good luck.
Shamir Shamazel, hold your spells. I am your master now. I order you to go back into your lamp.
How did you get my lamp? You thief! You've
Yeah,
ruined me!
you just saw the guy go.
My lamp! Oh, thank Valhalla! I hated working for that loathsome creature. I already feel his nastiness leaving me. How I've longed for a master like you. I've got a new master. I've got a new master. So, you are a thief as well, Alexander. Stealing the lamp was very clever, I'll grant you that. But I am the master thief. Face my sword if you dare. The man left standing shall have the lamp.
So shall it be, Alhazred. I don't need the genie to deal with a coward like you.
Inspiration, Alexander fixes upon the only weapon in sight.
Zounds! This sword must weigh a ton.
Good. Then you shall only fail sooner, my prince. So, the mouse would bite?
This mouse shall bite, as you shall soon see. Or should I say, soon feel?
Ha! You can barely lift that sword, my prince. Better to lay it down now. I promise to dispatch you with little pain.
A tempting offer, but I think I'll wait and see what this sword can do.
Suit yourself.
Very cinematic.
Alexander's arms start to tremble under the effort of wielding the huge sword. His muscles are nearing exhaustion.
Ha! And so it ends.
Not if I can help it, you murderer!
Cosima thrusts the small dagger into Alhazred's shoulder with all her might.
Ah! You dare raise a finger to me? You will regret that, princess.
Cosima, are you all right?
I'm fine, Alexander. I was just so afraid for you.
There's no need to fear anymore, Princess.
Yes, I know. How can I ever repay you? For myself, for my kingdom.
It was not in me to let harm come to you. Can you find it in you, Princess, to give me more than your gratitude?
Alexander, what are you saying?
I love you, Cosima. Would you ever consider... Do you think you could... marry me?
Could you ever have doubted it, my prince? Oh! Guards!
Princess Cosima, are you well?
I'm quite well, thank you. Please take Abdul and put him in the dungeon. See to it that he gets a doctor.
Yes, Majesty.
Excellent.
Cosima and Alexander ask Captain Saladin to perform their wedding ceremony. Saladin is honored to do so.
On this historical day of great joy in the land of the Green Isles, we witness the union of Cosima, beloved princess of this realm, and Alexander, Prince of Daventry. Do you, Prince Alexander of Daventry, take Princess Cosima to be your wife, to love and to cherish for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And do you, Princess Cosima of the land of the Green Isles, take Prince Alexander to be your husband, to love and to cherish for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Do you have a ring?
I have Alexander's royal insignia ring.
Very good. Please place the ring on Casima's finger. Who gives this bride to be wed?
Her mother and I willingly give our daughter's hand in wedlock.
Who will speak for the groom?
I will. Alexander's mother and I recognize his marriage to Princess Casima with glad hearts, and sanction this union.
Then, Alexander and Casima, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Congratulations, my children. I have an important question for you both. Please hear me.
Yes, sire?
Alexander, I welcome you into our family with open arms. I place trust in Alhazred because I so badly wanted a son and a husband for my beloved daughter. I was wrong. But you are true and good, Alexander. You have proven yourself to all my people.
Thank you, sire.
Olaria and I have been through much. Even though we have returned to our kingdom, I do not think we are able to reign again. Will you two consider the crown? I know as king and queen, you can heal this small kingdom from all the damage that Alhazred has inflicted upon it.
Oh, Father.
Why, I'm honored. What do you think, Casima?
I love my homeland, Alexander. I would be happy to stay and serve it all my days.
Father, I believe I'm needed here. Would you be very disappointed if...
Son, you must follow your destiny. I do believe the land of the Green Isles needs you. You'll be a magnificent king, though dearly missed in Daventry.
Then, I accept.
Oh, my boy, what a man you've become. And how I will miss you.
Don't worry, Mother. With Shamir's powers, we'll be able to visit often. I'm not about to forget my family.
Congratulations, Alexander. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, dear sister.
Oh, Alexander, I'm so glad. Between the return of my beloved parents and our new reign, you've made me so happy.
I'm glad I could make up for some of your suffering, my beautiful wife.
Congratulations, King Alexander. When we return home to Daventry, your crew will be glad to hear that their battle at sea was worthwhile in bringing forth a new monarch.
We were so worried when your men arrived home without you, son. I'm so thankful that you are safe and happy.
And I am as grateful that my crew did not pay for my driven heart.
You have only brought us all good fortune, sire. With Shamir saved and his power used for good, reuniting the islands will be far easier. He has already repaired the ferry. Your road will be easier now that the islands are no longer feuding. Already the wounds are starting to heal.
Yes, my love. Discovering the island's stolen treasures has done more to bring peace to this land than anything else. It is now clear that Alhazred had Shamir steal each of the island's most valued treasures, then blame the thefts on others to cause the islands to hate each other.
Now let us celebrate our good fortune. The evil that has plagued this land is done, and a new reign begins. Long live King Alexander and Queen Casima.
Long live King Alexander! Long live Queen Casima! Long live the land of the Green Isles! Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
And what else can one say? But that is definitely the end of King's Quest VI. It's been a fun one. It's definitely one that I remember playing a lot when I was a kid, but never really getting too far with it. A lot of puzzle games really kind of fell into that particular category. But this one in particular was a big one growing up, especially for myself and my brother. There was a lot of the little clips and things in there, especially when you start clicking on a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, you end up just picking up with. Like, Alexander's very famous, what else can you tell me about the land when talking to the ferryman? You might end up muting me on the stream at some point, especially because it's, you know, actual singing here for it, but we'll see what that does. Otherwise, though, at the very least, the credits are here, and I do like letting those play through. But 6 was kind of the peak of a lot of the adventures type stuff, as I recall. 7 is another one that we'll probably look through, which is the Princeless Bride, which is more a carryover from, I believe, King's Quest IV, as it carries on with his sister's storyline a little bit. .31 out of 231, 100% completion. But that kind of rounds us out here for that nice little side trip and adventure through some of the older DOS-based games. So with that, let's go ahead and round out the rest of the stream here for it and talk a little bit about some of the other new things coming forward. Of course, we always have our week-to-week adventures there. This was our second stream there, Classic Games on Monday night. So next up we'll have ARMA on Friday starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and then DCS Saturday on DCS Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And of course back at it on Monday next week at 2 streams at 6 and 9 p.m. I do want to get through Conquest of the Longbow. It's been long enough since the last time I played it that I think I can give it a nice shot through. No pun intended, since it's a Robin Hood adventure game. Tempted kind of to play the first one, Conquest of Camelot, first, and then get through it and kind of explain the two differences between the different generations of the engine that they use, because it does kind of define that when you look at old Sierra games. There's definitely a difference between something like Police Quest 1, King's Quest 1, and its parser engine versus, you know, some of the later generation ones. They're like Police Quest 2, Conquest of Camelot, some of the Quest for Glory franchise, and then, you know, getting to the point and click interface like we see in King's Quest 5 and 6, and that kind of deal. So, could be a fun little history lesson in that. We'll see what comes up on that one. Otherwise, though, usual things. I appreciate all the follows, all the subscribes. If you choose to do that kind of thing, I very much appreciate it. If you have those free Bezos dollars floating around from an Amazon Prime subscription, I appreciate that too. It's not necessary or required, but it is helpful. It does keep the channel moving and flowing and helps us do new things. A lot of that money has been going towards the purchase of new classic games, which we've been exploring here on Classic Games Monday. So every little bit helps. If that's not your thing, you can always donate directly to it, coffee.com/PylamJRomare. We'll use the coffee.com money exclusively for coffee, as that is a favorite beverage to have. You can catch this and other VODs on the YouTube channel at @PylamRomare. I do need to start splitting up my 2 DCS in classic game streams so we can get, you know, King's Quest 6 in there for both halves, so we should have that one up later on. Other than that, though, always ask for consent. Try to communicate as best you can with your partners. Try to be genuinely decent human beings. And we will catch up with you when we see you next. Take care, folks. Pylam out.